Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling YouTube or Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel. Easy for me to say. And today we're going to do the NXT review for 610 2020. For those that haven't checked out yet, my AEW review for the same evening is already up for you to check out if you're interested in that. By comparison, the NXT show falls flat. It really does. Um, it's it's almost like they wrote this show as a stopgap before they start doing anything really important before another show. It struck me how uninspired this show was. There's maybe one really good match on here, and some storyline stuff that's skippable, but in terms of, they've been firing really on all cylinders, and then they do this show, and it's just like, really, when I look to NXT, I look for them to be the best WWE brand, and that's a stretch this week. Now, I've got the Impact review and the AEW Dark review to do too, but I can pretty well guarantee that Impact probably was better than SmackDown's going to be this week. But when I can say that Raw probably is going to be show of the week from WWE, that says a lot when their ratings, like every other company's ratings, but in general are dropping. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment below if you're interested in what we do around here. Undisputed Era opens the show, and they celebrate. Adam Cole is gloating about retaining his championship. He's Adam Cole, baby. And he notes that the Velveteen Dream can no longer challenge him because he beat him at TakeOver. He says nobody on any brand in WWE is going to beat him, and he's the most dominant champion in history of NXT, and that it doesn't matter where it's from, no one's going to beat him. Cole brings up Dexter Lumis and Bobby Fish, Roderick Strong are freaking out about him. Lumis having put them in a truck or in the trunk of a car at TakeOver. Strong freaks out and he thinks he's spotted Lumis. Cole tries to pull everybody together, giving a speech how he's going to win. Lumis is indeed in the crowd and he's lurking in the background, so Strong isn't nuts. I don't like the Dexter Lumis character. I don't get it. I think it's supposed to be some borderline serial killer who's really artistic. I think they're going for a 97 Kane vibe or something similar with this. Just the Mystique period piece. But it's not connecting, at least with me. If it's connecting with you, comment below. I'd really love to hear people's opinions on the Dexter Lumis thing if it's working for somebody, because it's not working for me. Anyway, Keith Lee's on his way to the ring. He's going after Undisputed Era. Cole's giving Strong a pep talk. Lee makes a remark about him having his sights set on the NXT Championship, which would be awesome. Keith Lee deserves to be everything he can possibly be, everywhere he can possibly be it. Cole talks Strong down again, and then the Undisputed Era goes away. Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano defeat Mia Yim and Keith Lee in a mixed tag. Now, we've already seen these four go at it on Sunday. We've seen them go at it for weeks. I understand the concept of rematches, but it's the age-old saying of, how can I miss you if you don't go away? They didn't give this for some time to breathe in between matches, and so no matter how good it is, I'm bored. It didn't advance the storyline to have this match. It didn't do anything long-term to have this match. I guess there's one teaser that if you wanted to read into it could be good, but at the end of the day, it feels like they just threw the show together. There's my phone, so we will pause here momentarily, and I will be back in just a second. So then we kind of move into the match itself. And again, there's nothing wrong with the match. I'm a big Keith Lee fan anyway. To work backwards, Gargano pins Lee with a roll up when he's distracted. But Lee's got a bandage on his eye and on his hand, and he's taped up, selling injuries from the match this past Sunday. And then Lee hits Gargano with punches and sells his hand in the process. Lee's always been a good seller. Lorraine and Gargano go for stereo Ranas, but instead they get powerbombed into each other. Cool spot by Lee and Yim. I actually hope they do something with this. I wish there was a mixed tag championship. I know that sounds weird, but I think it'd be something different and unique that maybe they could do in one brand where there's a lot of overlap between the men and the women. Anyway, Yim cleans house during the early stages of the match. Gargano saves his wife. Yim hits a tope, and Lee caught her for the save. Commercial break. LeRae ends up hitting on... And there's my phone again. All right, this is one of those nights. Okay, let's try that again. So, I mean, the general consensus on Keith Lee is I think he could be a major force on the main roster, Raw or SmackDown, much like Matt Riddle's poised to be, and much like after watching much of tonight's stuff, I think Timothy Thatcher could be poised to be if they do it right. But I don't know that they want to do it right, and that's a major challenge. So, Lee tags in after the commercial. He runs down Gargano, bails him across the ring. Candice comes in via blind tag, and Lee picks up both, and LeRae rakes his eyes, and Gargano is able to escape. Gargano with an enziguri, and then there's a pinning combination with a dragon suplex. When Gargano breaks up the pin, Yim then attacks Gargano. Yim gives a German suplex to both LeRae and Gargano. She then wants to give another one to LeRae. Yim hits Soul Food, springboarding into a Cubera, and then LeRae gets a near fall. I mean, the women are phenomenal, and there's nothing wrong per se with the men's action either. It's just, it's already been done. It doesn't make logical sense to do it this close to the, the in your house, I guess, network purview. So anyway, Lee does a pounce. Lee does a pounce, and it sends Gargano smashing into LeRae and Yim. All three go down. Yim goes flying off the apron to the floor. Lee went to check on Yim and was super kicked by Gargano. Slingshot DDT by Gargano. Lee falls onto Candice. Lee was very remorseful upon getting up, and he scoops her up, and he tries to make sure she's okay, but this is not what's needed. Gargano sneaks in behind him and rolls him up with a pinfall. I love the finish here. I mean, this was cool. This was the old Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Elizabeth spot from 1989, and like Candice is laying there like a rag doll, and the roll up is just so it's heelish. It's wonderful. I wish they had waited 2 or 3 weeks for this, and it would have had more impact. It's just too close together for my personal taste. Anyway, so Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Cameron Grimes, and Damian Priest confronted him and decks him in the mouth with a punch. Io Shirai is the new NXT Women's Champion. They do a good job of putting this over. Inda Sheer with Malcolm Bevins defeated Mikey Delby and Mike Reed. I mean, this is just a complete squash. Quick end. Sheer wins with a, I guess you'd say, modified elbow drop finish, elevated elbow drop finish. So the referee is video chatting about Cameron Grimes. Drake says that Grimes is claiming to have a broken jaw after being punched by Priest. Grimes is unlikely for his match later, and Regal wants to chat with him about it. Drake finds Grimes outside the building and tries to chat him, or Grimes is trying to chat up women. I love the Grimes thing, by the way. He reminds me almost of the Kazarni character they tried to do several years ago, in that it's kind of almost like, the top hat and the goofiness. It's fun, it's light, it's enjoyable, but it's also really kind of just out there and over the top. Anyway, so match with Balor is still on after Regal calls him out and basically says, "Get it together, I don't care how you feel." Breezango does a personality profile, brings up their time on SmackDown, but they're born again in NXT. Breezango challenging Imperium for the NXT tag titles next week. I mean, I'd rather see them with the belts than Imperium, but I don't think I'm going to see that. Robert Stone is trying to recruit Rhea Ripley into his stable. This doesn't go well. She says her chances are 1 in a million. So then he basically says, "So you're saying there's a chance?" Rhea Ripley finally decks him and body slams him into a trash can for his trouble. So then we have Balor and Grimes. Match is fine. It felt long. I'm a Finn Balor fan, but the match just felt like they were trying to fill time with this, and it just felt, again, a match that we've seen that really doesn't advance stories too much. Now they're 1-1, and they gotta have a rubber match, which I'm sure will be technically good, but it felt uninspired. Balor dominated much of the beginning of the match, and then Grimes cuts him off and gets nailed with a dropkick in return. Grimes goes to the floor and catches Balor coming back into the ring using a clothesline. Grimes works over Balor for the next several minutes. We go through a commercial break. Balor makes a comeback and hits a number of moves like a double stomp, sling blade, and then a shotgun dropkick of his own. Balor then goes to follow up with a coup de grace, but miss, and Grimes tries to cradle him for a near fall and succeeds with the near fall, but not the win. Balor fires up and goes for his DDT. Grimes counters into a small package. I have to admit, the counter wrestling here is enjoyable, and if you like standalone, good quality matches, this is worth going out of your way to see, even though it doesn't really advance anything. Strictly on wrestling level, both the tag match and this are enjoyable if you're not looking at it from a story perspective. Grimes counters into a DDT, or another attempt at the DDT, into a side slam. Balor kicks out after near fall. Balor delivers a reverse 1916, and Grimes kicks out. Balor hits the 1916 from the top, and Balor calls out Keith Lee. Now that would be awesome to see. He wants the North American Championship, and I want to see that. That gives me hope for a brighter future. So then we go to Dakota Kai with Raquel Gonzalez against Kacy Catanzaro. Kacy Catanzaro looks like she's got some. I don't know that I've seen her terribly much. Maybe I haven't been fully paying attention when I've seen her before, but she's really small and compact. And I think having a woman of her size and build type and all that could be fun in kind of like a Spike Dudley underdog female role, because she shows good firefighting back, even though she was pretty well squashed here. She, though, comes out of the gate, House of Fire. Kai cuts her off, and then Catanzaro counters with roll-ups, a sunset flip for near falls. She walks into a kick from Kai, and and then Kai hits the go to kick. By the way, sorry about my coughing. Allergies are kicking my tail. They seem late this season. I wonder if they're late for everybody. Anyway, Kai into the kick for the finish. Kai and Gonzalez went to continue the beatdown, but Caden Carter comes out, makes the save. Obviously, these four ladies will do a tag match somewhere down the road. Gonzalez, who I think has a major upside, slams Carter. And then El Hijo de Fantasma comes to the ring for promo. He's interrupted by Drake Maverick. Maverick thanks him for the match, congratulates him for winning the championship. He wondered what would have happened if his mind was clear, did Maverick. Maverick challenged him to a title match. And Maverick said he knew that he could defeat Phantasma. Phantasma agrees to the match. Two masked men run in, and then they surround the ring. So Phantasma turns heel on Maverick with a headbutt, and the masked men then attack Maverick. Masked men took off their hoods to reveal themselves as Jacqueline Wilde and Raul Mendoza. Phantasma executes the Phantom Driver. Phantasma unmasks himself, drops the mask, reveal his face, and they hit a splash from the top on Maverick. He says he is Santos Escobar, and he's the Cruiserweight Champion, and no one can touch him. Next Wednesday, they announce Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart challenge the winner of the triple threat match at Backlash for the Tag Team Championships. So, I mean, it is what it is. NXT Championship, or maybe non-title match. Yeah, it is non-title. Cole versus Loomis. Cole pins Loomis after interference by Strong. I didn't care for this, but again, I don't care for the Dexter Loomis character. It dragged, it felt long, it felt cartoony, it felt bad for all the wrong reasons. So Loomis stalks Cole until Cole turns the tables on him. Loomis makes a comeback, but the match is really in like first and a half gear, 1.5 gear. Loomis is kind of doing just like an evil psychopath baby face, which is a weird combination. Catches Cole with a spine buster for near fall. So it's I don't even think they know what they're doing with the guy, unless he's supposed to have multiple personalities or something, and maybe he's supposed to like emulate whoever pops in his head. Anyway, so Loomis manages to apply a sleeper hold after missing a senton to Cole. Cole scrambling to free himself. Strong interferes with a kick, and Cole then delivered the last shot and gets a cover for the win. Loomis strikes again as he applies a sleeper on Cole. Post-match, Strong and Fish are right there, and they start jumping him. Velveteen Dream suddenly runs out to make a save, and Loomis frightens Strong. Strong runs away. Smoke clears, and Cole is standing in the ring holding the championship. Lights go out, and spotlight shines on Scarlett as she appears, and the crowd chanted, "Fallen Prey." Scarlett walks to the ring. Scarlett reveals she's holding a large hourglass and places it in the ring, and said the sand would begin to slowly pour out, seemingly signifying the end of Adam Cole's reign as champion. If they go with Killian Cross, although I'm not a full-on fan of him, the wrestler, I think he's adequate, above average, but not a main event guy. But with the character, he could be a main event talent. I get it. I don't understand it, but I get where it could get over. And if the rumors of Cole potentially leaving are true, passing it off to Killian Cross would be a phenomenal way, maybe around SummerSlam time or whenever they choose to do it. I think it'd be really fun, kind of interesting. What were your thoughts on NXT? Please comment below, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.